Hello, welcome in. What is holding on from the past? You mean for you, Megahar? Sorry. Welcome in, guys. Okay, so what's holding on from the past? Okay. Right. I was holding on to sadness and kind of chaoticness of their life. Like, I do feel like they've got some things that they could treat or they could work on better, much more healthily. There's also a relationship from the past that they think was very compatible that they're still not over yet, so that's what's holding them back from the past. What does Timo's friends think of me, Angela? What is it about? A lot of people just can have like unbearable sadness or chaoticness, in their life. I think that he tells them a lot about you, so it's like possibly too much, but in this kind of way of like, hey, my person's so cool. That's what they're really cool about. That he's thought that you're the right one, and he's not really thinking about the future. He's being very unsatisfied about the future, present, but he's looking towards the future. So sometimes, like, maybe there is some kind of complaint here, but most of the time I feel like it's very positive. Uh, I'm here. I'm glad. Jem says, what's coming towards me? You're very welcome. So what's coming towards you? King of Wands. This person's very focused on you, Jem. This person's very passionate, overwhelming, romantic. Thank you so much, Anima, for the donation. I will do yours shortly. Knight of Cups. You're getting out of your headspace, and the cards are saying be a little bit more kinder to other people, because it might be that at the moment you've been closing down, really protective of yourself, and you should actually open up and be more, open with other people, okay? Anima says, will I get my taxes on time next week on Sunday? They're not for working very hard on it. I do feel like, okay. So, will I get my taxes on time? So it says yes, but there seems to be like not working very hard on this and not talking about it and not doing it. So it could be that it would be funny that's a thing, I would say, important, you know. So I do think that you will get your taxes done, but the cards are saying do more, talk less. Moore says I constantly abandon, overlook people that are good towards me for bad people. Will I get my karma? There's no karma. However, I do feel like the cards are saying because you keep choosing this, you need to drop. You're going to drop into the same situation if you don't figure that out. Thank you, Rita, for the donation. Let me know your question. So it seems like a repeating thing for you. So you have to kind of figure out how you're going to put steps in place to get yourself out of it. Because I think that the karma is being with these people. Not, so that's important. The Knight of Cups, you're getting out of your headspace. So I think you're being a little bit more self aware, and there's kind of a wish fulfillment. So I do feel like the cards are like, you know what you're doing, so you need to kind of realize that and open up to the possibility of putting in better boundaries so you're not um and kind of looking at any abandonment trauma that you have, because it could be that you're thinking that you're too amazing and these people will kind of walk away. One of the best books for this is Women Who Love Too Much is a good book if you are always dating certain men in relationships. Arita says, I want to know how to get out of my sadness, what actions to take, or do I need to live it? Okay. So, at the moment, with this, Arita, you are weak to your sadness. There's kind of like this overwhelming und overwhelming feeling that you're powerless when it comes to your sadness. And that's kind of like this bit that you allow the sadness to sit with you, and you just don't kind of think, okay, it's today, or, and just work on that. With the caring and protecting card, do you realize that there's people that care and want to protect you and look after you? This is important because I think a lot of times you feel alone, and this kind of causes the sadness. The other one that I would say, Arita, is that you should distance yourself, actually walk on a path that's very different from other people. Because the more that you're trying to go on this correct path, what you think is normal for people, it's actually detrimental for yourself, because you're trying to fill the roles that you think other people want for you, or they want you to play, without you realizing this is not happiness for yourself. This is actually being very destructive. Okay? Right. Uh Alexandra says, Hanger Scorpio's current feels. Does he want me to text him now or reconcile? Thank you, Caitlin, for the donation. Let me know your question. Okay. I think that he doesn't want to reconcile just yet. There's a feeling like he wants to do everything alone. Do you realize that this person does care and protect you? So I'm gonna ask the pendulum, but it feels like there's some distance between you and this person. Are they going to reconcile this year? The pendulum's like perhaps. So I feel like it's depending on how their mood shifts. When would you feel like they should be coming back to you? So the 7th month this year is going to be a little bit more of a possibility of them coming in, but do you realize that it's going to take them a while? Okay, so hello, welcome in. Caitlin. So what's Caitlin's question? Caitlin. I did see Caitlin's question. What do I need to foster happiness and success in the coming season? That's a good question. Okay, you shouldn't worry too much other than this one. So justice in reverse is like you always like being mean to yourself, probably like mentally mean. So a lot of times the cards is like saying you have a healthy sense of self, anything good coming in, you'll be able to capture and keep and there feels like a feeling of excitement. So this is coming in for you passively. However, cards want to tell you that you might be kind of minimizing your happiness by just like telling yourself bad things. Like, oh yeah, but you know, these people are better than me, or you know, all of those kind of insecureness that we have. Divine Soul says, what are the current feelings of Owen for me? Is he receiving my messages? And how does he feel after receiving my messages? So at the moment, Owen's not taking a life choice. However, if there was like a question, like he wants to accept something from you, he is accepting something from you. So there's kind of like this feeling of that he wants to keep on chatting, but he hasn't made a life choice that's kind of like really committed, or yeah. And he's seeing other options. So it's kind of like this feeling that you're still very positive in his life and he wants to be around you, you know? Thank you, Lily Cat, for that donation. Thank you so much. So that's thank you. So that's what it is. Thank you so much, guys. So I feel like this is going to resolve soon, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's more that he's seeing a positive view on life, not just like dating other people. It's more like he's kind of woken up and things you know, when is the member live? That is this Tuesday, because we have 2 Tuesdays of every month at the end of the month, so that's what's going to happen. So Lily, what's your question? And let me scroll and see if I find Lily Cat's question. Did you actually put a question down, Lily Cat? I think you did, right? um do. Thank you also for the donation, June. I do not see a Lily Cat question, so I will look for Lily Cat's question. June says, what could you see for me in April? Thank you so much for the donation by the yeah. I think, yeah, you did post, but I couldn't see it. So can you put down your question again, Lily Cat? Okay. June says, what do you see for me in April? There's kind of this tower moment, so something falls down for you. Now, this could be actually a good thing because we do see some kind of self-destructive things, June. So, this is like wanting attention, but doing it the wrong way, and the energy is being very destructive in the wrong way, you know? So, it's kind of a hard thing because at the end of the day, all of these things are just like, okay, well, you know, yeah, I think the tower moment's ending up the cycle. So there's kind of like you've been working on the wrong things. And so therefore that's kind of the hardest part is you've been working on the wrong things, and this is going to kind of change the April that we see right now, because it will give you more purpose, a little bit more clarity on things in general. Let me ask the pendulum before I move on to Lily Cats, but will you lose your job? So it's not about your job, it's something else, June. Okay, so Lily Cat says, I would like to know Mike Scorpio's current feelings and our situation. Question 2. I started looking for another job. Will I find a better paying one? Okay. Right. So my Scorpio's current feelings, he's very focused on you, but you're very focused on your work. So it's kind of a weird thing because I do feel like he feels very frustrated that you're not spending enough time with him or not spending a lot of attention with him. His heart is healing. Scorpios, I feel like for me, get upset or frustrated very easily. So yours has gone through maybe an argument, maybe a fight with you because the heart is healing and sadness. So it could be that this person wants more time with you and you've been like, no, I've been really, um, you've been busy, and they just haven't taken that to heart. They've kind of wanted you to give them like all the time. What can you do about this? Maybe not be so stubborn, but I do feel like they would still feel. So I think give them some rules, like, oh, okay, I'm going to contact you this day, I'm going to do this day. So you could actually show that their love is valid, but in a way that's not detrimental to yourself. I started looking for another job. Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's kind of a feeling that you should work on your finances, in a certain way without being so like frustrated about them. You know how to work on money. You just don't normally do that. Wheel of Fortune, trust the universe. Do the things that you feel guided to do. So trust your intuition. Prosperity and abundance, especially in the household. Time to actually start, like, if you have been doing some small businesses on the side, it's time to do some more businesses on the side at home. However, I do feel like at the moment you might not get as many jobs as you want, Lilycat. There seems to be like this overwhelming, like, you're trying to look at the wrong time. So I do feel like trust yourself to kind of create new things, you know, and then work on those. Hello, Wolfie. Welcome in. Arita, I donated a second time too before Lilycat. Oh, thank you, Arita. It's a good idea to set a gift from that man, Jay, what he offers, or better not take it, is liquid in a bottle. That sounds a little bit. Okay. Can't say good news. So honestly, I wouldn't try very hard to accept it, but at the same time, it's not going to hurt you. And I do feel like it's going to prove that you trust this person a little bit more. But you do not have to accept it. You do not have to rush into it. Even to say like thank you for the option. Thank you for, thank you for gifting me this, That's important. So, yeah, you're not going to lose out by accepting it, but you might not want to. Divine Soul says, follow up. What do you mean? He's looking for other options. Is he receiving? He is receiving your messages. There is some new love coming in, so there might be someone else that you're in competition with. However, I do feel like you're working on your own self right now, so you should allow this to fizzle. Um, I don't know why the internet just dropped out, but sorry about that, guys. Samia says Jodore's feelings, current feelings and intentions for me. Okay, so this person's physically stuck. I feel like they're physically stuck on you. But they also feel like that they're scared to choose someone else. But the cards are saying there's a temptation for you to kind of step out and chase someone else because they're in their feelings and stuff like that. So the cards are saying don't be so tempted because I feel like this person's going to be coming around or kind of really working on that. So do take your time before you kind of leave. Divine Soul, with the Ace of Cups, it means new love. So yes, there's some new love coming in for him. And Munisa says, Munisa says, April blessings for me. Thank you for the donation, Divine Soul. So, April blessings for you. Star is a wish fulfillment card or growing something. So April seems very good. So you've got the Fool in reverse. So I go with the flow. Just take your time. Do things slowly. There's one thing that you might be is getting a person's attention the wrong way. I was thinking a situation, but the card's like, no, it's a person. So, I would feel like you might be trying to get this person's attention too much, and you should relax and allow them to come to you, not the other way around. Okay? So, thank you, Divine Soul Anna Rita. Thank you. So can you please give clarity on this new love? What is the outcome? I think that there's over flirtation. So I do feel like Erwin's very much into this relationship. However, for this person, they're not. So I feel like they're going to give up and they're going to walk away from this relationship. And yeah, so it doesn't feel like long term. I do feel like this person's just going to be like, no, thanks. So I do feel like they like Owen's going to be coming back to you. Okay, and Rita, thank you for the donations, guys. If you can put your question when you do the super chat, it does help me a little bit more because now I have to find some questions. Arisa says, question 3, how does the public take my presentation on 14th of March? It was okay, bad, or good? I would like to know. You felt you were very informative. However, some of your presentation, Rita, went over people's heads. So it sounded very intelligent, maybe not so charismatic or warm, but anyway. And I think that you passed it. So it's kind of like this bit where, okay, it was a good presentation, but because a lot of people didn't understand so much what you were saying, it was good, but at the same time, it could have been one of those things where a lot of people missed out. But that's okay. It was a good presentation. Hello, C Abba. How are you? What's coming towards me in my love life, says Wolfie. So, this person's rushing towards you, racing towards you. Doesn't care what other people think. and there's good news around the corner. So honestly, I do feel like most of the time I do feel like this person you're very welcome, Rita. Thank you for the donation. A lot of times this person doesn't know how to stop. Like if they were really in love or something like that, they tend to rush into things quite quickly. So that's a very hard thing for them to kind of slow down on. So do realize that they've got you in their sights and they might be very obsessed with you. That's what I would say. So there you go. Good. How are you? I'm good. Tomorrow is going to be members only, guys. So if you want more questions done tomorrow, yeah, members. So Destiny says general reading for April. So Wheel of Fortune, trust your intuition. Allow it to go. There's prosperity and abundance, especially in the household. And Queen of Swords. Um so Destiny, I'm very sure you're female. Queen of Swords in reverse has this amount of anger. So you might need to work on your anger. You might need to kind of relax, stuff like that. So, that's important. Okay, so Apple says, can you read tarot for me? Will I be able to get first class for the report I submitted? You won't get first class for what you submitted, Apple, but I think that you did very well with the physical time frame that you got, and you actually gave it all the work that you could. So honestly, you'll get a good grade. You'll get past a pass. You'll get something really good, but you might not get like the front, like the first class. Rupali says, my ex current feelings and thoughts of feelings about me. Is he thinking about reaching out? This person's scared, they're hiding away. There's kind of like this feeling that they want your attention, but they want it in the wrong way. So it could be that they want you to contact them, not the other way around. They're also being very judgmental right now. So this just means that they're looking at the small things. So because they're scared, they're hiding away, they want attention, but if you don't give them attention, you're still someone they choose, but in the present they're getting frustrated with life. So that's a hard thing that I would say to you is that yeah, is he thinking about reaching out? No. So the feelings, there's a feeling of anxiety here. So real anxiety, really like frustration, is not in a good place generally, but I don't think this is because of you. But things are making him feel more paranoid, I guess. C. Bart says, is he making up stories about his courtship situation to fool you? Um, I think he's not making up stories, but there's a temptation for him to over exaggerate, for sure. But I don't think he's making up all the stories. It's just very exaggerated. Thank you, Rita. What was your question? Okay, did we get a Rita question? Best advice, what does the universe want to say about Kay? What do you expect of him coming back, or do I need to move on? You probably need to move on. This person's energy is very destructive. They're not listening to their friends, and they're not making life choices. Thank you so much, Nisha, for that donation. So I'd honestly say move on because they're not going to change anytime soon. Nisha says, will me and Gemini end up moving together anytime soon? I don't feel so. I feel like you really want this, Nisha, but this person's heart is not over. Like, thank you so much for that compliment, Nisha. So Gemini seems to be heart is healing, so they're not ready to kind of move in. And they're going with the flow. So you might feel very upset, very kind of like, oh yeah, but you know, we've got to move in together or something like that. And this is frustrating you, but it's also frustrating everybody else, you know. Ariana says, I noticed one time Cancer asked me if I liked the rednecks. Did he want to impress me? He did see you as an option. And he wanted to distract you and make you smile. So I think it was a little bit of both, okay? um yeah. So there you go. SP is a narcissist. What do I feel is true? Okay, so cards are saying that you're probably barking up the wrong tree with this narcissism, preoccupied, possibly on the spectrum. I'm not a diagnostician. It's not something that I do, but I do feel like you're probably getting some traits here, but it's because they can't really kind of accept that point of view from other people. So that's important. It's like they're only having these narcissistic traits because there's something else underlying them. Okay? But if you are frustrated, you should walk away. Okay. M says, why did R cheat on me in the past with A? Is he over her? Does he regret on making efforts to amend? He is trying to make efforts to amend, but he also blames it on you, that there was a feeling that you were in a period of sadness, and so therefore he blames that on that. But I think that's a justifying move. Like, he doesn't understand how much that has changed that for both of you. So that's important. Okay. Shan says, what's coming towards me in love? Okay, so there's new options coming in. You're juggling your life superbly, and there's excitement. So someone's coming in for you, someone that you really like, or that you will like when you M. Yes, he is. So yeah, Shan, like, when you meet this person, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is who I want. Okay? So there you go. Happy says, am I going to meet my true love in 2023? You're very welcome. Okay. Apparently not. No. So you won't meet your true love in 2023. However, I do feel like this is mental and emotional struggles that are holding you back. Thank you, Rita, for that donation yet again. I appreciate that. So yeah, it feels like with these struggles, you're not seeing outside yourself to actually give a love a chance. Is my energy maxes with my soulmates love man energy? What do I need to change if I need to change? Um, you should just expect that all good things come to you. That's all. Like, I feel like you've got to have a sense of entitlement, like everything comes to you, everything goes the right way, you know. So that's the thing. He doesn't regret. No, he doesn't regret it. Like, if you think about people in the past, we don't regret doing something unless it was like something that was really dumb, you know. So that's the thing. Prinyaka says, Aaron's current feelings and next actions with me, no contact, missed you. Thank you. So, do you feel like this person's manifesting you back in their life? So, there's kind of a feeling that this person will call you very, very soon. King of Pentacles, they've been working hard. They're, with this King of Pentacles, the people can be too over, like workaholics, maybe a little bit of alcoholic, tendencies there, because I feel like underlying they overdo things. Hello, Angelina. How are you? So yeah, so it's going to be sometime this week for you, okay? Sana says, my name is Annie. When will I be pregnant? Please tell me. I've been waiting 6 years. Oh no. There's good news around the corner because Nine of Wands. This seems to be this year, Annie. There's also a feeling that you can take, obviously with your doctor's permission, obviously, some things that will help your fertility, but you should just keep carrying on and keep on persisting because it's this year, okay? Gothic Lovers says, how was I manipulated in my life that I wasn't aware of, and highest self message. Manipulated in life. I think to be less or smaller. Thank you, Rita, for that donation. So less and smaller than yourself. And I think that that has pushed you into a lot of heartbreak, is that people tell you that you're not worthy of things and you are worthy of a lot of abundance. The highest self message is that you are able to create a lot in life and you're able to unlock quite a lot of secrets of the universe, by just existing, that you should keep on persisting with your questions that you have, because without that, then I feel like you're going to be wrapped up in a lot of this small town thinking that you get. uh or your electricity bill is going to come expensive this time. My electricity bill is always expensive. um does this year until 2024, Annette and Kay going to be engaged, married, or divorced? I do not see any engagement or any marriage. I feel like these people are going to take it slowly. So I do not see any kind of movement towards marriage or engagement. I feel like it's been a very awkward, like 2 or 3 years. So that's important. Mahini says Sunny's next actions, current feelings, next actions. He's my ex, no contact. I feel like at the moment, this person's focusing on their own self and they're doing their own things. and they really aren't thinking about you right now, other than there's kind of a little bit of heartbreak. So, Mohini, that's important because this person's heartbreak is, you know, you're very welcome, Rita. Thank you for your donations. So that's the case. So I honestly feel like at the moment when they think of you, there's kind of a little bit of heartbreak there. Lotus Rose says, will I get money if I file my taxes? There is some money coming in for you. However, there is some fees that are going to be taken out. So it's still money, but you might feel like very frustrated because, you know, these things feel like they always happen, but it's okay, you know. So yeah, I think file your taxes and there will be a check for some money. Shagufta says, what is my classmate Farron think about me? Fazilia, no contact. He thinks of you very fairly, judges you kind of fairly. However, there's no movement, so this person's not taking a life choice towards you. They're carrying on their own life, so they're pretty, I feel like they're a little bit socially, you're very welcome, Mohini. Socially awkward, like they don't spend a lot of time talking about things or doing things, you know? So that's important. Roma says, Pavesh, current feelings, next actions, less contact. I'm in a Tifi journey. Okay. I feel like you are on your own in this journey because I do not see them. So I don't feel like they're contacting you at all. And it could be that they feel like you're angry or you just don't want to be around them. So they've kind of left you alone. I don't know whether that's your current feelings, but yeah. Queen Libra says, current feelings of Sachin towards me. We had an argument Friday, no contact. This person's still thinking about their argument. However, I do feel like they're getting out of that self-reflective phase, and you probably will hear from them on the weekend, because I do feel like they're going to be opening up and explaining things to you. Rogue says, Rouge. Sorry, Rouge. I keep calling you Rogue, and that's not your name. Guidance for tomorrow and what aesthetic lifestyle fit me best. Okay, guidance for tomorrow. Just keep on juggling things. I think that you don't fit a box. You tried out quite a lot of aesthetic styles, but they don't always tend to fit your look. And the High Priestess is like, work on staples that you can put in your wardrobe that look good, that you can accessorize with, because I do feel like you're going to decide, hey, like, I'm not down for cottagecore, maybe this. And if you have like staples, then you can accessorize them and change them, you know? So like a peasant blouse will work for a lot of things. A A-line skirt will look good for some things, or a swing skirt. Um, but in general, you should have this kind of underlying and then accessorize it, because most of the time you want to fit in, but you're not going to fit in with the aesthetic because the aesthetic's constantly changing as well. Does that make sense? Um, Angelina says, my 15th of Jan, my person's 26th of April. Can you tell me say he loves me and his current situations and feelings. So I feel like this person tends to be very logical in love or any of that, but the strength card, there is a weakness to you. He's very weak around you. So you know, an Ace of Wands, it's just like he feels like you've done right in this relationship, or he's got the right person, you know. So that's important. So he does love you, but it feels like he more uses his brain than his heart sometimes. P1 says, what are these intentions and feelings? New love. So if you are in a relationship here, so if you're currently dating this person, there could be just that this new love is you. Queen of Cups in reverse, this could be their mother or someone else, like their ex, that's very close contact with them. However, with reverse, this person's emotionally emotionally drawn to that person, you know, like that they make their emotions that person's problem. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, you're very focused on your own work. You tend to be very focused on what you can do. So I do feel like they like your self-sufficiency. However, I do feel like they are getting emotionally drained by someone else. And if you want them to be more emotional with you, it's not going to happen. Okay? Positive Energy says career reading, please, for April. Thank you, C Saint, for that donation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So at the moment, there seems to be like you need to walk away from some things in your career, because the Temperance in reverse is chaos, and this is you're struggling when you should walk away. So I think just try and look for other ways to like apply for new jobs in the area or stuff like that, because I feel like at the moment, like your work or your career is expecting too much out of you and giving you not that much in return. Okay, so C saying, what is your question? Let me double check. Member link, please. Meg heart, it should be down the bottom. How do we sign up for membership? I think that there is a thing called join down below the video, and you could do that. Am I unemployed? No, I don't think you're unemployed. It's just going to be like more and more of a struggle. Okay? C Saint says, what should I know about my broken relationship with my parents and brothers? Did I betray them by no contact? I think that they still love you. They still want to care and protect you. And there's a feeling of them working a little bit better as a couple because of that, you know. So that's important. Ace of Cups, I think that in general, you had to choose this path for you to get out of the oppressive nature of your family. Some families are fine just being like, oh, okay, I understand, you know, we'll go with the flow on this. But your family seems very pushy when it comes to how they force love, you know? Like, I will love you, or you will do something for me, and then I will love you. you know, very, yeah, conditional. Um, and even if they feel like it's unconditional, it still comes with this feeling of like conditions. So I do feel like in later on, like you'll get back into contact with them, but it'll be after a time where you're like, well, you know, I am this person now, you know. Jessica says, how would it be if I was to start a relationship with GC? So, good news, you should trust the universe. It's allowing you to go where you need to go. However, I do feel like if you enter this relationship, this person's holding on to a lot of things. So they're not going to share. They're going to wait for you to share with them before they actually open up and share. Okay? Aldonia says, may I ask if my auntie will leave me alone, please? What does she want from me? I feel like she wants company. She's lonely and she wants someone to spend time with her. However, I do feel like you're very, like, when she talks to you, you don't really talk, and so therefore you feel very overwhelmed, you know, and you just don't like it because she can be very forceful, and sometimes it's just like, oh well, you know, you're the only one in the family I can talk to, and you feel very overwhelmed because she'll talk about family and stuff like that, and you feel like that's slightly unfair. Okay, so I don't think she'll let you leave you alone unless you actually tell her that you don't want to talk about these things anymore. Fairy Doll says, when will Azarab marry me in this year? Okay, so we're gonna ask the pendulum for that because that's important. Thank you, Casey, for the donation. I appreciate that. So, will you get married this year? So it seems like it is a thing for you to get married this year, but because it's swinging very faintly, it'll probably be at the end of the year. Katie says, what does Jordan think and feel in regards to us? So honestly, there's 2 cups here. So there is love. However, he is still not over the past. And there feels like there's fear of the past bringing up. So there's kind of something in this that's triggered this feeling of like there's something in the past fear wise that he's kind of walked away. There's the relationship because of that. But that's important. 2 cups, Ace of Swords. So I do feel like he does think this is perfect. However, he does always kind of be very blunt, very honest in relationships, and they tend to disintegrate because he tends to be too honest, and he doesn't kind of work with this. Um, he's always very workaholic, and then he just takes things as they come. So I do feel like it's kind of hard because you've wanted commitment and he's wanted to just see how things go, and you've ended up in the middle of this issue where you guys didn't get what you wanted out of this relationship. Knight of Wands, I do feel like good news is coming in for you soon. So let me ask, is this going to be this month? So it's not going to be this month. I'm going to ask, it's next month for you. So I do feel like you're going to get good news because of him. But it just feels like at the moment he's got to deal with his fear. It's got to deal with all the issues that are coming up for him. you know? So there you go. Kaiti says, what does my future hold? Of course. Hello, Bill. Welcome in. What does your future hold? At the moment, there's the King of Cups in reverse. So this person's emotionally overwhelmed by this relationship, or that your current partner is going to shut down a little bit more on you. So that's kind of a hard thing. However, this person, if you're a single Pringle that's coming in, they care and want to protect you. And there's prosperity and abundance, especially in your household. But I do feel like you guys might need to deal with the conversations, you know? Thank you, Katie, for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Will Jordan want to love and build a relationship with my kids in the future? At the moment, he's holding himself back. He's very scared of dealing with kids. I don't think that he's been around a lot of kids, and that's kind of changing his perspective of things. It's hard also because he thinks if he accepts them, then he won't have kids in the future. So that's a hard thing for him to accept. And he might feel very off put by that. The life choice that he needs to make is whether he loves you enough to accept that. You know, like sometimes that's the hardest part. He does love you, but he's got to choose whether that's enough. And he is very immature sometimes. That he's very, you know, can be very upset all the time sometimes. And I don't think that he's ready to accept a parenting role in some ways. He's manifesting in this relationship, so he's pulling you guys closer to him, and with the Wheel of Fortune, trust the universe that he's going to be flowing back in for you. It's just that at the moment, it feels like too much. Yeah, he's being very unsatisfied at the present. However, it feels like a caring and protecting. So he will take on a caring and protecting role. I think that from these cards that I'm feeling, Katie, is that yeah, that he's overthinking this role. You know, overthinking his ability, like that he isn't ready. And I think that he doesn't realize that a lot of times he's a very caring person. And I think that he would be very good for your kids. He's just got to get over that hurdle of, does he trust himself to be a good person? Okay. Yellow Roses says, why did I not connect with my sister very well? And what's a message from her? Okay, so why you didn't connect very well is because there was some time gap between you guys, Yellow Roses. And I feel like from the cards, it's like she was the youngest of the family, or there was kind of like they treated her like the youngest. So it felt like that she got a lot of things that you didn't get or didn't have. And there's kind of that frustration of that, you know. Um, she says, okay, I understand that you're still in quite a lot of pain. Know that your heart is going to heal and you're going to miss me less, but that's important. Is that thank you so much, Mimi, for the donation. But things will be all right. You know, things are going to be okay. So there you go. Mimi, thank you for the donation. I love the raccoon, by the way. Does anyone have a crush on me? Are you going to be like, raccoons are my spirit animal? There was a video I was watching, and all the raccoons, like, they had to get a thing out of the pile for the raccoons. So that's important. They put a plank and they like brought all the raccoons out of the thing. So that's important. So does someone have like a crush on you? So at the moment, I feel like you're straying away from friends or the like other people's voices, and you're getting to a point that you are very good at bringing in your own happiness. And I think you've been very young and stupid sometimes, Mimi, in the past, but you're kind of working on your future right now. Yes, there's someone that is crushing on you, but a little bit scared to say. Very passionate, very outgoing, very optimistic. They might be like looking at you like sometimes. um I feel like this is more like a coffee shop scenario. So someone that doesn't know you completely sees you a lot, but that's important because, like, but I don't feel like you work with them and they're not a friend. So they kind of hide away and go, well, if I ask, I'll be considered a little bit creepy. So they're kind of not really. But Wheel of Fortune, trust the universe because someone's coming in for you. So I don't know whether this person will say yes, but there's someone else that's going to be like admitting that they have a crush on you too. So I think that if this person doesn't actually admit, then there's someone else coming in for you as well. So there you go. I hope that helped, Mimi. Thank you for the donation. Allison says, when will I have a baby? Thank you for the donation, Yellow Roses. When will I have a baby? We're going to ask the pendulum that. So there you go. When will you have a baby? Is it going to be this year? There is a perhaps on this year. It's something to do with, I was going to say diet or something like that. There's kind of something that holds you back this year from getting exactly what you want. But you might need to talk to a doctor or something about that because that's not my area of expertise, you know? It feels like the 8th month is like the best time that you get you conceive, but a lot of these things are important for you, okay? Sonia says general reading for April, May, please mine. Okay. So at the moment your heart is healing and you're also feeling very bad about yourself. The cards say let go of fear in the past, because if your heart heals, you'll walk into April and it'll be a very happy month compared to like at the moment you're frustrated, nothing's going right for you, but the future is going to be better for you, okay? Give me 1 second. I'm going to take a break, have a cup of tea or whatever, and I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, yellow roses. Yes, of course. Give me one question. What was your question again? Yellow. Oop. Oop. No. Turning off the super chat. Okay. Yellow roses. What is AL's true feelings for me, and his love is conditional or unconditional? Okay. So there's a feeling that he is weighing you up against his mom. I feel like he is very much a mother's boy. So therefore you are very different from his mom. And this is causing fights and arguments, you know? And that's important, you know? Because this is a very frustrating thing for you guys to deal with. However, I feel like at the moment it's conditional because, you've got to be very fit work very well in the family, and he's a little bit worried what his mom thinks about you, because this is important. Katie says, will Jordan and I stay together until September? Okay. Well, the cards say that you probably will actually stay together until September. There is a feeling of getting closer to getting what you want, especially in the later months. Not taking that life choice. So there's kind of like this feeling of that life choices are important here, even though there's good things. Yeah. Um, there's weakness and wheel of fortune, so that's important. Um, so yeah, it's frustrating, I guess. A lot of things are very frustrating for you, and yeah, no, but with the weakness, like the wheel of fortune, it's you should trust that you're going to be together until September. Why was there a specific question for Katie? Is there a thing why September? Because that's important, I guess. Um, but yeah, do you realize that that's going to happen for you? The important month? Okay. I think that you guys will stay together based on those cards. So thank you for the donation. Belle says, is T content with the way things ended? I think not. No. No. I don't feel like they were very happy with the way things ended, because they wanted things to continue even though they were kind of lying or not telling the truth about things. It's not as great, or not so, with the Fool in reverse and the King of Wands, this person's still very focused on you, and they're not physically over you, so that weakness. So I feel like there's kind of this very unhappy, even if they broke up with you, there's kind of this unhappiness. And they're saving up their emotions or feelings because they haven't found anybody better. So at the moment, that's what they're feeling, that's what they're thinking. Yeah, I feel like if you gave them the option to come back, they would come back. When says general reading, please. Thank you so much, Bell, for the donation. So When says Geronimo. I think it's Geronimo. General reading, please. Okay. So the hangman, you're going to fall into a situation. So this is like a feeling of space where not anything, it's like nothing really happens. Like it's time to just take stock of figure out where you want to go in life instead of kind of rushing into things. Take time to think about it. Knight of Cups is like get out of your headspace and kind of like figure out what you want, and how you're going to get it. So I do feel like it's kind of planning. When I don't know whether you're masculine or feminine. If you're masculine, someone's coming in for you, Queen of Wands. If you're feminine, it is yourself. So hello, welcome in, Karen. Welcome in. So your passion, your drive, your light, your creativity is definitely going to pop up, especially in April, okay? There you go. Felicity says, will NM contact me soon? If yes, when? I would say yes. Allow me to pendulum, because I feel like it's going to be, is it going to be this month? It's a perhaps, but if I go next month, it is a yes. So, it's going to be like on the cusp of like next month or this month. So it's very hard for you both to deal with this because he's very focused on you, but he wants your attention in the wrong way. So it's kind of like he asks for attention in the wrong way where, you can't give it. So you should trust the universe, what you're guided to do with this relationship. Thank you. Nick Naharika says, will I get selection in IRS by next year? Pendulum reading, please. Okay, will you get... No, you won't. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's a no. Arjun says, is Dixon going to contact me? Does he still love me? I feel like there's no contact. I don't feel like this person loves you, even though they can show you a lot of like words. They keep talking to you in some ways, make you believe that you're still in a relationship with them, even though you're not, you know. Um, so that's the case. CG says, question one, current feelings of nervous towards me, third party situation. This person's feeling a lot of sadness and their heart is healing. So I feel like this third party has just walked out and left you in it. So I feel like this is resolved. I feel like this is gone. This person's walked away because they're like, we're waiting, Samira says, is B divorcing or separating his intentions towards me? I feel like if this person has no idea. However, I do feel like they're getting into the midst of separation. I don't think divorce yet because they don't want a divorce, but they still want to be in control. So I feel like it's very hard for them to kind of have an idea of divorcing because it's going to cost them a lot and they don't want to deal with that cost, okay? Ladybug, how have I been manipulated in my life? And higher message, please. I think I did that, Ladybug. Did I not? Okay. Okay, guys, if I say your name, listen up. Okay. Ladybug, how you been manipulated? I feel like a lot of times people have given you, and this is not family, I do feel like they've given you words of encouragement. However, when it came to the options that are available for you, you might have felt like they were less than, even though they're realistic and you got lots of options. It might have meant that you got very increasingly frustrated because people's words were different from what you saw in life. You know, like your realistic point of view is like this doesn't add up. And your spirit message and highest self message, sorry, not spirit message, is go with the flow. Don't kind of get too caught up. Just go with the flow and enjoy it, you know? That's important. Mystic Falls says, does Dr. A have any feelings for me in his heart? He finds you attractive, but I feel like he would turn you down because he's just not really working on that. So it kind of feels like he finds you attractive, but he's not going to get together with you, unfortunately. Angie says, Fluid Art says, Sammy in Australia and I in the USA. We've got an undeniable connection, chemistry, and want to be together. Will this happen to us? I do think that it will happen for you guys, but I do feel like you're going to have to move for him, not the other way around. So do realize if you want to be together with this person, you'll probably have to move to Australia, okay? Megas says, what is our thoughts and intentions towards me and our future together messages from him? So what is our thoughts and intentions towards you? At the moment, this person is very much in the feeling of like, I should do different from society. I should not be the same as society. And they're holding on to their resources and stuff like that. So they don't want to share. So it's kind of a hard thing because I do feel like they're very coming over quite selfish. However, I do feel like their message to you is like, keep being very positive, keep being very hopeful. I know that I'm very hard to deal with, so do give me patience, you know. So that's your message. Arena says, what is mine and Gemini's future together? Our future together. Well, yeah, there's still going to be like a question. So I feel like at the moment you might have someone that's very selfish and they will still be very selfish in the future. So that's the case. Sarah, thank you for the donation. How does B Taurus feel about me? Okay. So there is this feeling of prosperity and abundance, especially in the home. They want to create that for you. I do feel like that's important for them to create that for you. So that's important. The one thing that I would say to you is that they sometimes feel like you have a lot of anger and they don't know, it's like they tend to feel like they perpetrate it, but they don't know which option will stop making you angry, so they will try all the options to make you not angry, and that sometimes gets very hard for them. They know that their bluntness tends to drive you away, and you don't want to keep on continue with them, you know. That the Hierophant, you feel very scared. Yeah, you feel very scared, and sometimes this means that you are showing signs of wanting to abandon this relationship because like you don't want to be in less control and you want to be the control person. So sometimes this can come over as being very angry, very upset with them when you've got to kind of deal with that frustration yourself, okay? What kind of connection would he like with me? Okay. What kind of connection would he like with you? It's hard because, like, mm, he doesn't know himself. That's one thing that I would say. So he wants to reject anybody else. He doesn't want to, like, he's already walked away from so much that he doesn't really want to take on a new person. So when it comes to you, he just doesn't feel like there's other options. Chariot in reverse, he wants to stay with you. You are like new love. He loves the feeling about being around you. It could be that there's a certain scent that you have that smells really good, and that's what he is drawn to. Um, he struggles sometimes to find words or things that he feels like a child could do, but he's not very good at it, and he does sometimes struggle with that. I think that it can cause a lot of insecurities or a lot of anger because he doesn't know when to ask for help. There's fear in the past that you were going to leave, and I think this fear is still here. That's important. So that's something that he has got to let go and walk away from, is this fear, because this fear in the past is kind of creating this insecurities and stuff like that. So there you go, Sarah. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. I really do. Jasmine says, is Edgar going to reach out to me, or is it over? He's Gemini and I'm Libra. I feel like this is over for you. Yeah, it's keep on proceeding on because yeah, this is over. There's two tarot cards. If they were upright, I would have said no, this is not over, but because they're reverse, then yes, you're over. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. Elisa says, "May I know the situation of R and E?" So at the moment, there feels like there's a giving up and walking away. Um, yeah, I feel like this situation is kind of like over. I feel like they're starting to realize that um for the little things that you get, it doesn't really help. So that's important. So yeah. So that's important. I don't feel like this situation is going to keep on going. I feel like this is ending. Uh Antella says, question one, pendulums, please. Will I see Daniel for Easter holidays that are coming? So the pendulum says yes. So there you go. Shantae says, is my relationship with Jeremy over? I don't think it is over yet. However, with this chaos and the magician in reverse, there's gotta be like a discussion how you guys are going to go from here, because one of you, or thank you for the donation yet again, I appreciate that. One of you or both of you have to kind of work on fixing parts of your life that are chaotic, so therefore you'll both be stable, so then you'll both feel very grounded and you guys can talk about other things, because at the moment it's chaos and you're losing that control, you know, and that's important if you want to keep on going in this relationship together. um Sarah says, I sent a second donation also. I did see that one. Um, did I not answer that? I don't. I'm very sure I answered that. Unfortunately. Oh. Oh, I see. Sorry, sorry, Sarah. I, I only saw one. I'm so sorry. How does C Aries feel about me? Okay. Sorry. Oh my lord. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Okay, so he's heartbroken. He he wants to be very selfish right now. Um you seem to be his world, and he doesn't want to have any more kids because that relationship's now over. However, I think that he's getting out of his headspace and he realizes that his workaholic tendencies, or tendencies to work very hard, have come at the cost of the relationship. And he does see you being very self-serving or possibly selfish. So I do feel like, because he's holding on to maybe payments or something like that, you've had to chase him. So that can be like this feeling of selfishness, even though technically they're yours, you know? And he thinks that you are living a life of luxury when I don't think that you are. So what kind of connection does he want with you? He wants to control this relationship that he has with you. That's important for him, is this feeling of control or being in control. He doesn't imagine about you anymore, so there's kind of like this feeling of like he doesn't have like any thoughts about you in a romantic sense. Um the High Priestess, I feel like he wants to just walk away for good. Like in a certain sense, is just like the High Priestess. He wants to manifest something better in his life, but at the moment he's um not bringing it in because of his very um a not very nice or charming manner right now. So that's important because I do feel like he's closing down in his own world and whatever he wants from the outside world, you know. So it seems like he wants you to be very hands off with him and he wants to do whatever he wants to do, which is not possible because I do feel like this person doesn't want to be, responsible for anything, including your child that you have together. So I do feel like that's a very hard thing for you guys to deal with. Okay? So Sarah says, I sent the second donation. I did see that now. How does B Taurus view me? Okay. I feel like they think that they're biting off a little bit more than they can chew with you. There's a life choice that they're not making right now. Ah, okay. So I do feel like they think that you've got a lot of options, and why you're picking them. So it kind of feels like at the moment, if you're sad or you know that you've got more options, you know, their life choice is that they're not really working to get out of their headspace and kind of choose something that they need to choose. So it's kind of like I feel very hands off when it comes to this relationship with you. It's like um that they want you to be happy, but they don't want to bring you the happiness, so they kind of do this. Death card. So they've got over a relationship and now they're trying to control their next relationship by being less, I feel like, caring. I think there's a lot of boundaries there. And I feel like they've got to think about this very much, is like, do they really want to continue dating you? Because if they had continue, they've got to commit. Um and there's kind of like, yeah, they've got to figure out whether they're biting off more than they can chew, or you're. I feel like you're part of their world anyway, so I don't feel like it's a very hard thing. But sometimes just dealing with things, dealing with stresses, dealing with, everything, you know. So there you go. I feel like they're very frustrated sometimes. Um, who's next? Because I did see another donation. So there you go. H, thank you so much. And thank you, Belle, for the donation as well. I appreciate that. So, how does Capricorn feel about me? Any new actions? This person's got love for you, so they're going to continue on. So this person feels very like, oh yeah, you're in their lives, like they want to continue with you, but you're possibly bringing in some chaoticness into their life. They like things ordered, they like things tidy, and you might not be the same as them. And they've got to realize that you're not as tidy as them, and that needs to be worked on. Okay? So that's important for both of you. Belle says, am I going to be capable to move this fall? Thank you so much for the donations yet again, guys. It means so much to me. It will be going towards the electricity bill. Um, so that's important. then possibly the internet connection after that. Okay. So, will I be capable to move this fall? I feel like you're struggling too much with this deadline. I feel like it's going to be later on this year, Belle. So it might be getting into winter, not fall. So, but I do feel like if you get other people to help you pack and stuff like that, I feel like it's a little bit easier for you. And I do feel like you will have to ask someone else to co-sign something. So maybe your family has to co-sign a lease or something like that. So be a little bit aware that someone else might have to co-sign because your credit history is not as good. I don't know whether it's credit, but it feels like credit history is a little bit lacking. I think go with the flow, stop struggling for like a specific time. You might have to have a smaller place because the juggling of the money and love of the place might mean a smaller apartment. However, I do feel like you'll be still happy with this. So I feel like it's more winter than when you want in fall, okay? Thank you so much for the donation, Belle. I appreciate that. Um did you donate? Yeah, no. I'm getting a little bit confused here. You're very welcome. New subscriber, M. How was Arach's relationship with his ex Asprit as compared to me and him, who thinks he's better and wants to be with? So uh like there's no difference. I think this person doesn't compare. Yeah, I don't think this person compares you together. So at the moment, this person doesn't really want to be with you. Like I feel like it's 9 a day. They want to be with you. They would never compare you both because that's important. Okay. Hello, Angelina. How are you? So Luna says, question one, incoming energies. Am I going to date other people before reunion with Terry? Is a reunion year for Terry and I? I feel like you're going to be moving on from this connection with Terry. So I feel like you're walking away from this connection, to be honest. And the cards are saying that you're possibly lying to yourself or doubting that you are coming back together. So the cards are saying look for someone else and kind of let go of this connection because this person's probably not coming back to you, unfortunately. Cassian says, what is my life purpose and my guide message about my writing? Okay. Thank you, Sarah, for the donation yet again. I appreciate that. So don't bite off more than you can chew in your life. Just take it slowly. Keep working systematically as with things and kind of get out of your self-reflective place. So I feel like you're going to be waking up very soon, Cassian. So I feel like the cards are saying be slow, steady. Slow and steady wins the race. Be very practical and kind of break things down, you know? Sarah says, what is this anger have lately coming from? There's fear in the past that's really coming up very strongly, you know. That's important for you. It's like the fear in the past is coming up for you. Um so that's important. It was like a time that you felt physically stuck or physically trapped, and every time that kind of comes up in some parts of your life, you feel this instant surge of anger. And it could be that your anger feels more directed with someone, but you know, it will not be a case. Um, so that's important. Is like you have to let that go. I think sometimes you doubt yourself a lot. Like maybe you feel like it's foolish not to have a plan. So sometimes you overcompensate and it kind of goes not great for you because you're overcompensating when you should just go with the flow. Um yeah, trust the divine. I feel like a lot of times you kind of really hate not having a plan for things, and the universe is like, you should go more with the flow. You should trust that things are coming in for you when you don't see them. um and it's like this feeling of stillness, a feeling of like things are not going the way you planned right now, and it's okay. Just continue on. So I do feel like a lot of times there's a pushing and pulling between you and what you want to be. And this is coming up very strongly, okay? Does B Taurus want me to stay in his life? The next question. Um, yeah, in this person does want to stay in your life. That's definitely apparent. But I do feel like when you guys maybe got together, this person wasn't ready for a relationship and destroyed it by working too hard, you know, and expected you to stay around when you didn't. I feel like this person, B Taurus, only wants the best for you and wants you to have everything in desire. However, I do feel like this person would want to come back in your relationship as someone that you fall back in love with, but their heart is healing, so they might just think it's good enough to be your friend, but know this person still has quite a lot of love for you. Like a very strong love connection there. Okay. So Morg in the Void says, hey, hope you're doing well. What's about me that stands out to others? Thank you in advance. You're very decisive. You know what you're doing. I think that you do have quite a decent imagination, or you dress kind of a little bit odd, Morgan the Void. And your charismatic and your intelligence as well as your nature, you know? So that's important, you know? So that's a big thing. DJ Kiwi says, what large purchase can I make next month that would bring me happiness? Thank you so much, everybody, for their donation. I think DJ Kiwi, nothing will bring you happiness. It seems like the cards are saying work on your growth, working on manifestation instead of like a physical thing. Because DJ Kiwi, after a while, everything doesn't, you know, it could be going on a trip. Like, one thing is experiences over things, you know. Niza says, general reading, of course. So, at the end of the day, there's a feeling that a cycle is going to be passing, that you're going to be naturally flowing into this feeling of that you need to make a life choice that you aren't choosing right now, which you should choose. So this is a flow in. So you might feel very overwhelmed because it suddenly happens for you and you have to choose very quickly. There is this feeling of like saving money, just saving money, working on that, okay? So that's important. What are Pisces' feelings towards me? Do you see reconciliation this year? Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. I really do. Drop the mic. Um, so what is Pisces' feelings? It's hard because like you're still very much on their mind. So I do feel like there's kind of reconciliation this year. However, there's a temptation to think that this person is getting out of their headspace when they're not. They don't really tend to be very good at flowing out of their headspace. So let's actually see when reconciliation's going to happen. So it's like April, so next month for you two. So it says, Destiny, what is your question? Let me double check where your question is. Karen, why do you not have your your moderator badge? Maybe I'm getting very old. Maybe you have two accounts? Maybe that's the case. Do we have the Destiny's question? Oh, she did. Maybe I'm just getting blind. Okay. Let me double check. Oh, okay. Thank you. So Destiny. Should I give L the Capricorn a chance to meet him? Is he serious? He is serious. However, do realize that sometimes this person can be very off-putting or something. So go with your guts some bit, but he is serious. His heart is healing though, so do realize that this could be like testing you to see like what you say or what you do. That's important, you know. Thank you so much for the donation. Crystal Love says a question. First question: why am I started this movement? Why are you started this movement? Because a lot of people are very unenlightened, and they don't know where to get answers from. And you're naturally a natural born leader. You tend to be very good at leading a large amount of people. So I do feel like people ask you the questions already that you're turning into this movement. Okay. Picture says, what is the current feelings of Biswit for me? Okay, so this person wants your attention. However, I do feel like they're frustrated right now and they want you to be more in a situation that's, you know, um of looking at a situation that's, sorry guys, give me a second. um it's like they want you to be very independent. So is this the case? Yes. So it's kind of a weird thing where I feel like this person wants this connection, but they also want you to be very independent. And that's kind of like they're stepping out of their kind of caring and wanting to look after you kind of phase, you know? So I do feel like they still want this connection, but it feels like they don't want to do all the kind of looking after it after you. Not lost. Rap guy channeled messages and what he thinks I feel for him, please. So rap guy channel messages. This person's working very, very much, but it's like because there's good news coming in for him. So this is important because at the moment this person feels very much like um you are important to this person, but this comes first. What he thinks that you feel for him is like no imagination, no lust, no, no passion. So this person feels like you don't really have that feeling of caring about, you know, you about him, you know? Love Mummy says, why did my person feel after reading yesterday's message? Was he making fun of me? He was teasing you for sure. I don't think that he understood that you were upset, but he does have a very dark humor. So do realize that it was only a joke. Love Mummy. So, you know, he was very excited that you sent him a message, but, you know. uh, Insha says, what will be... Hello, Jean. Welcome in. What will be Osama's reaction if I tell him my feelings for him? I think that he would reject them, unfortunately. I feel like you won't get someone that really wants this connection with you, okay? Mayase says, I took this admission test for a master's degree and I wanted to know if I was going to get accepted on your first choice. You're not going to get accepted on your first choice, but your second and third will be yes. Maisie. So good luck. Yeah, so I feel like you'll go with the second more than the third, but you know, uh Priya says general. So at the moment it feels like there's a lot of, you're not particularly happy and you're also in a feeling of mental struggle. Work on your diet and work on getting enough vitamin D, so get out in some sunlight and eat some kind of fatty fish. Something about like you're not getting enough oils, so omega-3 oils in your diet, because this will ease a little bit better. Um, yeah, it's like at the moment your mental struggles and your kind of emotional struggles is because of what you're eating, Priya, and you've got to work on that. Aldous says you don't be sorry about that. What is H's feelings and next actions towards me? Feel things are getting stronger between us, but not sure if it's in my head. Um I think it's more in your head. This person, you are stepping away from how you view love, and you're seeing this person step away from the differences in love too, Aldous. So it's kind of hard, but I do feel like this person rejects a lot of like you, um because they want something different. So, it's hard because I do feel like you're growing as a person and I don't feel like this relationship will contain you. So, I do feel like you're going to leave this relationship because this person's not ready to kind of grow with you. Okay. Eulalia says, is Ram going to be my future spouse? Yes, this person is going to be your future spouse. That is definitely obvious. They have to get over something first, so this will be a slow courtship. But yes, this person will be a thing for you. Suni says, "Hey, love feelings of Sa for C." Okay. There's a feeling of walking away from something. There's also like letting go. Um, yeah, it's just hard. This person's never really great at explaining things. That's important. But they're going to enter into like, yeah, it's very hard for them right now to explain a lot of things that they want to. There's a feeling of walking away, and two of swords, then not making a life choice. There's good news coming in for this, but in general, they have to be very much more honest with you overall. Okay? Asha says, who's secretly obsessed for me? Over you? Asha, one of your friends is secretly obsessed with you. They haven't told you, and so therefore you became friends with them more than dating them, you know? So that's important. So that's the case. SK says, what does Asa Suri thinking of me? We both Sagittarius. Thank you, Shantae, for the donation. So there is this feeling of like fairness, like this person wants to be friends with you, you know, they like you. However, they feel like you bite off more than you can chew in life, and you're also always the first person, or you know, someone that does dumb things sometimes. So that's important. What is Jeremy's intent for me? Thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that. So, what does this person currently feel for you? It feels like at the moment they are in a feeling of flux in their life. They've given up a lot of things and walked away from a lot of things in their life, including family and including like hobbies or interests. Like they've given up. They're going to keep on proceeding in their life, but you are their sunlight, their happiness, their kind of radiance right now. They're very happy around you. However, they have to come out and be honest that they don't want kids right now. So there could be this feeling that, you know, okay. Oh no, Karen. Okay, let me moderate the other one then. um, so that's important. The Magician in reverse. They have no like lust relationship, so that's important. So that's important in general. Is this kind of imagination? There's good news coming in for them. So that's what's coming in, is like good news coming in on this relationship. So I hope that helped you. Thank you so much for the donation. Cosette says, why do I feel like life is moving slowly and I'm lost? Do I even have a significant life purpose? Um, that's a good question. You feel lost because you haven't saved a lot. So when it comes to like good things in your life, you haven't saved. So there's a lot of things that aren't kind of getting paid out to you. There is also trust the present is different from the future. So it's just like at the moment you're feeling unsatisfied. Everything feels very empty when you should look at the future and realize that things don't have to be, you know, things can be different. There's a feeling that someone in the future is going to step up and take care of you. This could be a mentor, but I do feel like it's more like someone that's going to be a love interest for you that steps into your life. However, with these little biscuits here, it feels like your life would be better with some kind of snacks. Which is a weird thing to say, but I do feel because these are all pentacles and we have kibble everywhere that snacks will help. So there you go. PJ8 says, did B get his karma back for what he did to you? I think so. Mostly because I do feel like he doesn't realize how much he's missed and he won't be coming back in your life, you know? So he's kind of dealt with the karma that all of this is not helping, you know? Clover says, is Matai seeing someone else? Okay. No, I don't feel like this person's seeing someone else. I don't think they're even taking a life choice to see someone else. So, you know, that's a good thing. Love Mommy says, follow up, was he making fun of me with his friends all alone? No, he wasn't making fun of you with friends. He would never imagine that either. So it was more like a friendly, good-natured teasing than, you know, making fun of you in front of friends. Okay. Shreya says, will Ammon, Virgo, and I, Cancer, reconcile his current feelings for me? Okay. I feel like you won't get a reconciliation even though you want to, because I don't feel like this person feels ready to reconcile. So I do feel like this person's going to step away, you know, and not come back in your life because at the moment they're very judgmental and they don't feel like it will work with them, you know. Um, Asha says, who is the person that will express his love to me? This person's not working very hard expressing love. This person's at work with you. That's important. So it's someone around you, like a colleague from work, and that's why I feel like they're going to have a hard time with this, okay? So Queen of Wands, yeah, just trust that they might be able to tell you after work, you know, instead of at work. Reconciliation says, Queen, may I get a pendulum reading? Will I have reconciliation with Zay in the future? Yes. Okay, is it going to be this year? Okay. It says yes to that. So So it seems like December this year instead of like early. Jean says, what is the Taurus feelings and intentions towards you? So yeah, this person is definitely in love with you, Jean, because we've got Nine of Cups. So the happiness, like the bringing together of a relationship, very much overwhelming happiness. This person sees you as being very similar to themselves, so there's high compatibility here, and you should trust the universe. You're guided to go with the flow on this, you know, importantly. Catfire says, will me and Paris reconcile? Yes, there's good news coming in. However, I do feel like don't rush this because this might feel like at the moment you want this person to come back in your life, but any kind of attention you show this person will seem like desperation. So it is this year. So ninth month this year. So it's going to be at the end of the year as much. PU says, what will be the future of me crushing on my teacher? Ooh, it's crushing on a teacher. I'm sure there's a song about that. Crushing on my teacher. Okay, so yeah, there's temptation. Yeah. I don't feel like you're going to get what you want with this teacher. However, I do feel like there's a temptation to physically be more, physically attracted to this person. However, I do feel like you get out of the headspace, you will graduate, and then you'll be like, oh, that was a weird crush. So, um, that's what to go say. There's nothing that's coming in that's like, oh yes, you will continue with your teacher crush. I think that it'll be gone after a while, very soon. Pride and Prejudice, I realized I was the twin flame runner. Is that correct? It's hard because I do feel like you might have left this person with feeling like they now can't move on from you. So there is this Pride and Prejudice, there is this connection between you two. So I do feel like this person's holding out for you to come back because they don't want to think about having kids with anybody else, or they don't want to continue on with their life, and they're very focused on you. So honestly, I don't feel like this person blames you for running away, but in general, they're like, well, Kiki says, what is best for me, human resources management or accountability? More practical things. Okay. So, human resources, I think you would do very well in, and you probably would get paid quite a lot. Okay, Karen, just switch over. I'll mod the other one. Um, account the accountability. I don't think that you would be very good at accounts. Maybe bookkeeping, but I don't think accountant you would be very good at. The more practical things, I don't think that there's a temptation for you to go towards the practical things, but I don't feel like you've got enough stamina to keep up the practical things, Kiki. So I do feel like human resources are things. Okay. Virgo 826. No, 828 says, new subscriber, welcome. Did Muna get his karma back for did he get his karma? I think so. But I don't feel like he admits it's karma because a lot of times his friends are not speaking to him. And he's also struggling when he should walk away. So it feels like life is very hard for him, but it's just because he has done all of these things, and he should realize that because he's done these things, people don't want to talk to him anymore, Fatima says, does Jarwood have romantic feelings for you? I do feel like this person has a romantic interest in you. Definitely, for sure. They're getting out of their self-reflective phase, so they're starting to kind of make moves towards you. But yeah, they are very much interested in you, and they're very romantic. They're very fiery. There's a lot of people with the same that log into other accounts. So I adore says, what would make my second make me and my J Taurus relationship last a lifetime with a happy committed relationship? Lots of saving. I think just be very passionate, very fiery, and sometimes not being willing to compromise, which is a weird thing. That's important because, I do feel like at the end of the day, you know, you can be very frustrated. But I think just having the ability to save, keep the passion alive, and just sometimes disagree. Aldonia says, may I have a general? Of course you can. Guys, we're going to be finishing up in an hour's time. I'm not feeling very well today. I haven't eaten since breakfast, so I'm not going to really stay on for very long tonight. So there's someone very focused on you, Aldonia. This King of Wands, very focused on you, very passionate, very fiery, very happy. Knight of Wands, there's good news coming in for you, and you shouldn't focus on the present, you should focus on the future. Because if you work on the present, you might be thrown off. So that's important. Deepa, thank you for the donation. Where do I stand in terms of healing? What is my progress? Am I mostly independent yet? Okay, so I do feel like you are stepping out of your headspace when it comes to things. So I do feel like you're more aware, Seba, what's actually going on. What is your progress? Not great, because I feel like you're a very stubborn person, and sometimes you go, oh yeah, I'm fine. Are you emotionally independent yet? Not yet. Your heart is still healing, so do realize that you're still not independent of this. However, I do feel like you're going to be working through that. So that's important. So thank you so much. And Jay, I didn't see yours, unfortunately. Orange Moon says, please, Omar's current feelings and intentions towards me. So at the moment, this person's walking away from a lot of things. So I don't feel like they're focused on you, Orange Moon. Trust the universe that you're guided wherever you want to go on this. However, do you feel like if you're non-contact, they're not coming back in for you, okay? Rajni says, what are Ricky's feelings? Does he tend to give commitment? This person is physically stuck on you. So there's kind of like this feeling that there is this sign of commitment and getting out of headspace. So at the moment, I do feel like they're getting over the feeling of being trapped, but you know, it's kind of hard for them to commit sometimes, and so therefore they're getting into a feeling of commitment. I think this is only going to take them 2 months. Okay. Coach Shu says, when will I get a job? Thank you so much for the donation. When will you get a job? There's good news coming in for you. I feel like this is this month. So I do feel like stop listening to other people about like not getting a job, because I do feel like it's soon. It might not be this month, it might be next month, but it is coming in nevertheless, okay? Siba says, what was my friend Z's attentions behind telling me about courting someone due to family pressure? Is he going to call it off? He's going to call it off because he understands that you're quite upset. And also he wants to be happy. So I do feel like he walks away from this because it wasn't good for his own intentions. But yeah, I do feel like he's under a lot of pressure and he wants to please. And so, but I feel like there's something to do with money, okay? Okay, it does not commit in 2 months. Bye bye, Bricky. With the blessings of Cassandra. Yes. Take care of yourself and eat. Well, you know, I didn't expect to be this late and not eat. But yeah, if I'm feeling really hungry, I will eat. But I'm still like in that feeling of like, am I hungry? Am I just feeling like, you know. Jide, welcome in. Mikha says, ends, current feelings, no contact. I feel like this person has given up and walked away from a lot of things in their life. However, when it comes to you, they feel very drawn to you, feel very drawn to your power, and feel very committed to you. So it's kind of like this person might be questioning whether you're too good to be true right now, because a lot of things in their life have not worked out so well. Okay? Yeah, thank you, Yashti. I appreciate that. I will. I will. Little buddy. Yeah, well, I am quite short. Is the line still open? Sarah, just put down your question. Divine Soul says, what does Owen and his friends tells his friends about me these days? That he's still in love with you. He still wants a chance with you. However, there's kind of this physical stuckness, like he's stuck somewhere and he doesn't want to kind of let go of that. So that's important. Pucha, thank you for the donation. What is your question? um uh she is asking a question for me. Oh, it was your sister. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm sorry, Pucha. I see. It's not the same person. I understand that. Um Mekaha says, Raj current feelings and next actions. What does his family friends think about me? So Raj current feelings and next actions. So this person's in a mental state when it comes to things. They are very frustrated right now. It seems like they need to save, but they haven't been, and this is very hard for them. So a lot of it comes down to money right now. So they're really focusing on money. What's their family, friends? I feel like they're warming up to you, Mecca. Not before that. Jesus Christ. Hiccups. So they're warming up to you. They seem very conservative. That's important. How much time? Okay. Give me 1 second. So what? That's interesting. So about like the 7th month for you to completely heal, but it feels like you're going to be like not, you know, that's important. So that's the case. I'm very sure one of the moderators will unblock you today. So right. Okay. May you have a general reading, of course, Moonlight. So at the moment, there's prosperity and abundance, especially coming in for your household. You've got a good sense of self, so things are flowing in naturally for you. And just as in reverse, things are going to be a little bit better for you, but I do feel like you're still going to feel that you are not, how can I put it? You're not worthy of these things and you should go stop feeling silly. You know, that's the case, you know. So that's important. M says, how does R view me emotionally and physically? Sometimes they don't understand your emotions. Sometimes it's a little bit too hard for them to grasp because I do feel like you add on and add on and add on to things. And so therefore it's very hard for them to understand because I do feel like you hold on to sadness quite a lot. And so therefore they go, oh yeah, like, you know, um I am having a hard time and stuff like that. And so therefore they don't understand when you keep talking about things. This can be very hard for them. Queen of Pentacles, they like the physicality of you. You feel very as fit, you know, and the muscles are just things that, you know, that's important. So that's the case that I would say for you. Casey, welcome in. Katza, what does a family feel about me and what does he say about me? So what does I feel like it's very hard because you want to please them, but you've got to stop being so, you know, nice because at the moment they don't know who you are. That's important for you, Cancer Sun. But I feel like they're going to warm up to you and enjoy your company. But at the moment, I feel like you're pretending to be something that you're not. What does he say about you? That you're kind of messy, very chaotic. Maybe, Cancer Sun, maybe you have a touch of ADHD. I'm not diagnosing you, so do realize that this is coming from a lot of chaoticness. Like, you don't always know how to control it. And Wheel of Fortune, you know exactly what to do sometimes and when to do it. So that's important for you, you know? So that's important. So that's a big thing, you know? Um, Construct says general, please. Okay, so stop looking at the small details and see a bigger picture. That's important for you. Well, it's hard because I do feel like you need the details, but I do feel like focusing on them is not going to help you. So that's important because the bigger picture, you need to like really specifically see both, but the details don't matter. Okay? The world is like everything is very much in your own world, in your own space. This is important to you. This will get you going a little bit more. If you are talking quite a lot, you need to dial back the talking that you have, you know, and that's important to you, okay? So that's important, you know. Um, so that's a good thing, okay? Crystal and light, please. Omar's current feelings and intentions towards me. So there seems like there's a celebration coming in for you guys. However, I do feel at the moment this person doesn't want to have family. They don't want to have kids yet. So that's kind of a hard thing for you guys to deal with. And there might be this feeling that you've got to decide whether you want the excitement of this relationship or you want a stable relationship. This is kind of a hard thing that I would say for you guys that you need to work on, okay? Casey says, where do I need to go from here? Where do you need to go from here? Okay. So, there seems to be someone that's very focused on you, that wants to care and look after you. So do take your time. This could be your other half that's really trying to look after you and protect you. The moon, stop listening to so many people, you know, because the family and friends, it's hard with their own voices being louder than your own. That's important. So that's important to you, okay? Lumia says, what does Mr. December like and secretly despise about me? Okay. So what does he like about you? You sometimes don't share your toys or a lot of things with other people. You tend to keep them to yourself. And you have a healthy sense of self. So everything that comes in that's good, you get to keep. You don't overdo things a lot. The one thing that he does despise about you is that you sometimes ask for attention the wrong way. So maybe there is this feeling of like expectations in this that you might need to kind of go, well, how do I stop being so, um very much in these expectations? Bishop, what's your question? Meg Hart, welcome to the Mystic members community. Tomorrow is members only. So that means that we've got about 12 members. That's important. What is your question, Pooja? Lisa says, will F and I... Oh, okay. Sorry. I will do Lisa's and then I'll do Pooja's. Will F and I continue our connection and grow to love? I feel like there is a feeling that something from the past will rear up and bite its ugly head. So even though you're asking about this person and they're very focused on you, I feel like you won't trust this connection because you've been in a really great relationship before and it fell down and it wasn't, it didn't work out. So that's important. However, I do feel like this person will try to show you that you're their world, but I don't feel like you're going to be with this person forever because it's just like a hard thing for you guys to deal with. Um, Oh, okay. There you go. I didn't know there was two things. That makes sense. Pooja, thank you for the donation. And your question was, what does Bisweight feel about our connection? They feel like they're biting off more than they can chew sometimes in this connection. They're feeling frustrated right now. Because their connection with you is not completely great. When they should look at the future, and they've really kind of put friends and family on the back burner. So it feels like you've got to step up for a lot of things in their life that are not working right now, and they need to work on like other things in their life. So that's what I would say. Word Tech says, "Why do you do this?" Question mark. I'm not understanding what the question is. Yeah, Mecha is a member. Back on Tuesdays. Orange Moon says, "May I ask Minia's thoughts and intentions towards me after we talked?" Orange Moon. Okay. So it feels like they're kind of freezing you out. Like it feels like you made the choice for them instead of the other way around. So I do feel like they're not warming up to this choice that you've made them. So that's important for you. I think go with the flow and don't get them like get frustrated with them, okay? Okay. Um why did I start doing tarot? I've always been interested in tarot, and I got split up with my ex, and yeah, I bought myself some tarot cards, and I started doing my own readings and then doing them for friends, and then I started actually doing it online. So that's how I started. Was there a question what is like how to do this, or Anne J says advice on getting a library assistant job. Okay, stop doubting that you can't get a library assistant job. There might be some jobs or roles for volunteer services first, that you could get, or other jobs for library assistant roles in other, like, over here we call them parishes, or like different areas. So it could be further away, but then you could actually sleep on someone's couch or something like that. But I do feel like you will get your library job this year. Love God says what's coming towards me and reader in the future. So the sun, so there is prosperity, abundance, hope, and happiness coming in. So the sun brings us radiance. It's the lifeblood of pretty much making everything happy. Um, if you're single, Pringle, love is coming in for you. If you are together with someone, you're very, very compatible with them. Uh, do check your energy, because at the moment your energy, love God, is just being very chaotic, and you could direct that energy towards something more constructive than just I feel like you're running around in circles sometimes. Love Good says, does the person in my mind A find me attractive, or he believes he could do better and is done with me? Uh so at the moment I feel like this person, if you're talking about them being with you, I feel like they're not. King of Pentacles in reverse is workaholic anonymous. He's just always at work. He doesn't want to share any good things, and there's kind of like a feeling of getting up and going. So that's a case that I would say, see ya, Pooja, have a good night. So I do feel like this person has a kind of how can I explain it? They have a god complex, I feel. Like they feel like the best gift to the world, and they're clearly not. So Meg Hart says, may I have general? Of course you can. Okay, so you're getting out of your headspace soon. This is causing a little bit of mental struggles, so you're just going to drop into feeling very overwhelmed. There's kind of like this feeling of overwhelmedness when it comes to like, hey, crazy things are happening. However, I do feel like it's because you feel like you're too small to do something, or not experienced enough, or some kind of excuse, like how you're going to get this, when you've got to realize that it's not that far away from you. So you should just go, if you feel very overwhelmed, just go, screw it, let's do it. Okay. Positive Soul says, what does my person walking away from me, what does he think I lack? Okay. He feels like you lack a certain amount of depth to you, that you've always lived in the same area, or Love Good, that was a no, yes. So yeah, there's a feeling of this person feeling that he wants someone more experienced. But I don't feel like that's sexually. It's more like just in general wants someone that's got a little bit more world experience. But just trust the universe, go with the flow, go with the intuition. But I do feel like this is what you need to go, with. Stephanie says, will things evolve with N? I don't think so. I feel like you're struggling here, but you do have to realize that this person's not going to change. They don't change very well. Okay. Cat plays with wool. Hee hee hee. Just think how annoying that is. Like someone that does crochet and they go in and Haley says, "Will I get a job in an office this year?" Probably not in the office this year. However, I do feel like you have a friend or someone that you know that's a boss that can give you the experience of working in an office so you can apply to more jobs, whether that's like 3 or 4 months of experience. So that's important. Okay. Uh, Disney fan says, "Does Gemini want a long-term relationship with me? Do you see that happening?" No, I don't feel like this person wants a long-term relationship with you, mostly because they're already in their own head. And when King of Pentacles is chasing money, they're not really working on a romantic relationship. Lax death means what? That you probably have lived in the same area. Positive soul, you've grown up with the same people. You don't have a lot of world view. You might be a little bit less educated than them. There's kind of like this feeling that you're kind of young, you know? So, the feline has already made up her mind about stealing all the wool. Yes. Yes, for sure. Will a romantic connection develop between Chris and I in the future? Ooh. I feel no, because they want someone else. So I don't feel like you will get what you want. This could also be a mom type, but I do feel like this is more you, and they want someone that's a little bit more outgoing and stuff like that. That's important. Gayatri says, "What does G feel towards me currently? Should I leave or stick around in this connection?" So they've given up a lot of their friendships or relationships for you. However, I do feel like you shouldn't stay for this connection because you're struggling with this connection, and it'd be better if you give up and walk away. Because even though they say, "Okay, I gave up," like all my friends and family for you, it's like they wanted to do it anyway, That's one thing that I would definitely say for you. Christine says, "Will I get a lump sum of money from a car accident? Will I get picked for a new apartment in New York? Will you get a lump sum?" I feel like they're going to pay out in installments. So you just have to realize that you are going to get paid out something, but it's not going to be in a lump sum. Will you get chosen? No. There's fear in the past. So there's something holding you back from getting chosen. And this is important, you know, because you need to let go of this fear to kind of find a new apartment. Okay, Christine? So there you go. If you just missed your reading, go back in time, because you can just go back in time. Amy says, "What's coming towards me in love?" Okay. So at the moment, you're manifesting someone in for you. However, I do feel like if you don't specify who you want, then you probably will get someone that's very close to being like one of your exes, because you're still looking for that kind of compatibility. So that's important. So, So yeah, I I I I'd be more specific about who you want to come in for you, but this will be in the next couple of months. Fillmore says butting heads with sister. How is she feeling right now, please? Um, I feel like she's feeling unsatisfied a lot of the times. Like she's picking fights because she's also not in a great space in her life, and she feels kind of edgy as well. Um, like how do you know this? How do you know that? Kind of feeling. But there's good news coming in for you. I think that you both miss each other and you kind of resolve this, okay? So I do feel like she's going to admit that she hasn't been very feeling of late that everything's working for her. So I do feel like she's going to start thinking of you as an ally instead of, not. Scorp Love says, does the attorney have good tensions or wasting my time? So, does this attorney have good intentions? I feel like they're wasting your time in some ways. Like, they could have got these things resolved. But it is a big process, and I think that they're trying the best that they can, but it is just so protracted and they could have done it a certain way, but that's a feeling that I would say, you know. So we will be finishing up in 20 minutes, guys. 20 minutes. Uh, did my kids get my roses? No, they're fake, unfortunately. I don't have any kids yet, so they would be like 0, 1, you know, -0 right now. So, yeah, they're all fake. Um, I think this was a Flower Girl that I had. Um, Flower Girl, what's coming towards me in love? King of Swords is coming in for you. Queen of Cups, you're feeling a lot of sadness right now. And I feel like you're just rejecting a lot of people, Flower Girl, because you don't feel like ready or, um, that no one's gonna measure up. But this person's coming in. So if you do kind of work on the sadness, kind of shift the kind of sadness that you're feeling, you'll open up and you'll just like feel this overwhelming shift, you know. LA says, what is Stephen S's energy? Is he going to settle before April? So 10 minutes, guys. Unfortunately, we're going to finish up very soon. At the moment, he's just going with the flow. There's something that's not really making him happy. Like, he doesn't feel fulfilled or like his life is on track. And he's just going with the flow here. So, if you're asking whether this person likes you or they are thinking about you, I don't feel like they're thinking about you. There's no like cards. So I just feel like they're just working on their own thing, hoping that everything comes through for them. Okay? That Dan says, when is Gemini and me going to come into a relationship? He's behaving distance these days. I feel like it's very soon. So I do feel like he's going to open up more at the end of the month. But yeah, there's a feeling that he likes you because this caring and protecting card comes up when people really think about you and want to look after you. And excitement. So I do feel like whatever big thing was kind of keeping them away from you, that, yeah, that's coming to an end soon. Okay. Um, Moonlight says, how does the person on my mind um feeling and thinking towards me? Um, so this is interesting because their heart is healing. They do think about you very positively. You're a very passionate person, very forgiving person, which is a weird thing coming through for that. But you do have this kind of like energy of warmth without having the burning of fire. I feel like you can be a very warm person. However, when it came to you, they knew that they didn't have a lot saved in emotional bank. So therefore when it came to you, like, you were very caring, very forgiving, but they couldn't give that emotion back to you, and they regret that in a big thing, you know. Aritika says, I'm waiting. Can you please take my question? One, does Raj miss me? No, I am afraid this person doesn't miss you. They're like stepping up to try and date other people. Um, yeah, it feels like this person's, you're not on their mind, really. Um, and you haven't been for quite a while. That girl says, is Capricorn going to communicate? Hello, be intuitive. Welcome in. I like that name. That's a very cute name. So is this person going to come back to you? So this is hard because I do feel like you're going to have a very hard time with this. Um, yeah, I would say no. This person's not going to communicate with them. Their heart is healing, but I do feel like you're holding on to them more than they're holding on to you. Okay? You're very welcome, guys. Allison says general messages. Of course you can. So general messages. So at the moment, realize that you're struggling and you should give up and walk away from something. Especially if the relationships where you're putting a lot of like effort into them and you're not getting a lot back because that's important for you, and you should just keep on proceeding working on your own life because that's important. Okay. Okay, so Orange Moon says, why the friend of Minia wants to talk to me. Is he going to tell me about Minia's tensions? He's going to be telling you that Minia sometimes says some bad things about you, Orange Moon. It's just because he wants to look cool in front of his friends and doesn't know that someone's going to tell you what he said. However, I do feel like he's going to realize that it's not cool and he's actually going to apologize, okay? Divine Soul, thank you for the donation yet again. What's your question? Okay, when is Owen? Soon. Okay. So is Owen going to contact you soon? Okay, is he going to message you? Is he going to call you soon? So he's going to call you. When? Yeah, so it's going to be next week. He's going to call you. Is he talking to you with the word a W? SAW. So it seems like a no for that. So there you go. I'm sorry. But next week calling. Okay. Do we have a question one? Lovely Lovey says energy reading on my brother Alfred, please. We have 2 minutes. So there's kind of a struggle with your brother. There's kind of like giving up and walking away from something. But other than that, there's pure happiness. There's like prosperity and abundance for Alfred. And all the good things are coming in for Alfred as well. But there's kind of like this feeling of giving up. If you're asking, I don't know whether this person's still currently alive, but I'm feeling that you're asking because you can't contact this person anymore. And I feel like they're very happy, other than one thing that they have to walk away from. And it could be just like, you know, something that they have to let go of. Casey says, is my partner still love in my ex? Someone told me he discussed about me with W. I don't think that he has, because the pendulum said no. So I'll quickly pull a card for that, but I'm very sure like the cards will back up the pendulum. So is my partner still in love with their ex? In some ways not. I think they've realized that they couldn't be in love with their ex. But yeah, the their heart is healing, so there's some damage. So when we do that, we still kind of love this person. We kind of hate them too, because they've taken something from us, even though we haven't given them permission to do so. Okay, so Divine Soul is the last one. So yeah, there was something that he said, but it was more like excitement. So I feel like when I asked the pendulum, it said something like I was thinking something bad, and the pendulum's like, no, there's no bad things. So yeah, there was kind of like excitement. So maybe it's just something to do with you is making Elwyn excited, but there wasn't anything bad said. Karen, what is your question? Actually, what is the question for Jean as well? We're finishing up tonight. I'm so sorry, guys, that it's not a long question time tonight, but I am finishing up early. So I'm sorry. Be intuitive. Thank you so much for that donation. Will I have more conflict with Ranim soon? No, you won't have any more conflict. I feel like this has been resolved. There's been fights and arguments because of looking presently at things, but I do feel like this person knows that you're part of their world. So I feel like they're going to kind of shift a lot in the perspective of, hey, like, let's look at the future and be a little bit more positive. We do have member readings tomorrow. We only have member readings tomorrow. So that's a thing. Karen and Jean, what are your questions? And then I will finish up today. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Divine, as well. Taurus is significantly younger than me. Is he a better match long term, or is it Virgo? Okay, so actually, it's weird Thank you, B. So tomorrow is going to be members only. So it feels like in the future, this person that you're asking, the Taurus, seems to be the best match because the Virgo is going to care and protect you, but then they're not going to take your feelings into account. So even though they'll be more stable, I feel, they might be a little bit more obstinate when it takes on, like, you know, feelings and emotions there. Karen, your question. Then we're gonna finish up for tonight. Sorry about his true thought, action, and intuition about the future. There's temptation to always be very focused on you, Karen. So this person gets very hyper focused on people when they're. You're very welcome, Jane. When they're really something that they want, you know? Action, they get up and go. They're very active. So they get up and go, very on the ball, go, 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 go. But the intuition about the future, it's excitement. So I do feel like this person's a very positive person, a very passionate, very fiery individual, very active individual. So I don't feel like I sense any deception here, but there is a temptation to be over, you know. So I do feel like the desire fades less, you know, in the future. Okay? So do realize that at the moment they're probably hyper fixating on you a little bit more. But I don't think that's a bad thing because they don't seem to have any deceptive emotions about that. Thank you everyone for coming, and I will see the members tomorrow. If you do donate, please put your question with the donation because sometimes we're having a hard time with that. Karen, please, you can come back. Can you come back? I don't think you can come back on that question, that particular account. So, is he been deceiving me and dating ex? Well, the pendulum says no to that. So, no, I would say not. Love you guys. Bye bye.